Welcome back to 7 Moons Astrology. My name is Sarah Kirby, and this video is for the new moon in Virgo, which comes exact on the 27th of August at about 3:17 a.m. Central Daylight Time. New moons in astrology are about pivoting in a new direction with a new intention based on previous insights we've gained from the cycles preceding this energy. In Virgo, I think about the intention to be precise, to be correct, to be virtuous, to be pure, to be well-intentioned, organized, clear, and factual. This is about getting things right. There is an undertone of trying to be perfect and paying attention to the details so that we can get everything in just the right place, not just for ourselves, but for other people. This is an energy of servitude, naturally. It's about collaboration and about carrying our piece of the puzzle so that the whole ship can move forward in the best direction possible. So the new moon this time is happening at 4 degrees in the sign of Virgo, which I've highlighted on the screen here for you, where the moon and sun are conjunct. This is a new moon from the perspective of Earth. And what I think we're most interested in at a baseline is to be productive, is to be in control, and to manage the details of a very busy time in our lives, all the moving parts in the best way possible. I think we're also striving to make a plan that is actionable, practical, clear, and concise, that considers how to get everything in just the right place. We're trying to make decisions that we know are going to benefit us and everybody in the long term. And we're trying to be analytical and rational and in control and logical, right? Focused on what the correct decision is, not the emotional one, not, what are the facts of the situation? And it's a very analytical energy, okay? What could be troubling us, though, at this time is this square to Mars, which is exact here in Gemini at 4 degrees, okay? So a square here is indicative of some kind of tension, problem, or choice or decision that we have to make. And when I think about Mars and Gemini, I think about having a lot on the mind and struggling to make those decisions, struggling to make up our mind. There could be a pressure to make decisions quickly. There could be a sense of urgency, or there could just be a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, new ideas, fresh energy, people to respond to, a lot on our plate, lots of emails, a lot of demands for our time and attention, our mental energy and focus, which could feel really scattered at this time. Trying to do 10 billion things at once. Trying to move really, really quickly. And things could feel a little chaotic, which when we're really craving for things to feel more orderly and more organized, and we're trying to take control of things so that they can feel more orderly and organized. With the North Node and Uranus here in Taurus, the whole lesson this year has been about moving more slowly and deliberately and taking things at a more measured pace. But with Mars and Gemini, there is an influx of faster moving, chaotic, scattered energy that could have us a little bit more in the mental plane just after we've really learned how to slow down, right? So it's kind of the first test or problem here after really piecing things together and integrating more of these lessons with Mars and Uranus. Or the North Node in Uranus in Taurus. Mars was just there this entire past month, and we've clearly identified what the obstacles were to us integrating those lessons, to us developing self-reliance, to us moving at a slow, more measured pace, and we've done the changes and kind of broken through on the other side now, and things have felt better. But around this new moon in Virgo, we're now trying to make a plan so that we can move forward in that direction. And there could just be a lot on our mind. Researching a lot of conflicting information, not able to make up our minds, having trouble deciding, or feeling like a lot of pressure to decide quickly which choices to make so that we can make this most effective and so that we can get things right. So that we can get things just perfect and in the right place for us and for other people. This could also have to do with a health situation. Virgo is a lot about health plans, well-being, nutrition, fitness, If we have a health problem or we're trying to optimize health, we're probably learning a lot of information about how to do that and finding a lot of contradictory, conflicting sources of information, having trouble making up our minds or understanding what is true, correct, or precise for our situation so that we can get it just perfect or right or back in order. That could be another thing that's happening. The other thing that's coming up here at this new moon in Virgo that's important to remember, I think, is this opposition between Saturn and Venus, okay? Saturn and Venus. Venus is a lot about what we value, and Venus in Leo is about taking charge of what makes us happy, doing what we want, what is exciting and pleasurable to us, what's authentic to us, and standing behind those principles, okay? Saturn's a lot about responsibility and figures of authority, okay? So the other thing that's going on here, again correlated to this Uranus and North Node influence, is a T-square here. And to me, this might mean one of two things. Either things are more recently in a much better place and we're feeling more calm, more enthusiastic, more excited about that, more in control of the situation. And because of that, we're feeling good, we're indulging more, we're moving at a slower pace, we're, allowing ourselves to feel much more happiness and ease in our experience. That's the Venus and Leo. We might be indulging a little bit more, relaxing a little bit more, throwing caution to the wind, having a little bit more fun. And as a result of that, responsibilities, the Saturn part, those are missed. We haven't considered, what practically needs to be done for long-term sustainability for our solution, for our situation, how to actually make these good feelings and more positive situations last. We might be skipping that. We might be looking over the practical details right now. And then because Uranus is stationing retrograde just before this new moon, which strengthens its influence and is liable to bring surprises into the situation that help us confront maybe responsibilities that we neglected because we were too busy feeling good, right? Or health situations that are arising now because we were overindulging. Or details in the plan that were missed. Details in the work that weren't considered because we were too busy moving, we were too busy, let's say, focusing on what was bringing us more immediate pleasure and immediate gratification rather than long-term success. That could be another thing that's going on right now. The other thing about this is that there could be some kind of conflict with figures of authority where we need to stand up for the values and principles that we believe in, our perspective, what we believe is true and correct, what's authentic to us. That's another way that this energy can manifest. Some kind of surprise conflict over values, over money, over resources, time, and energy. North Node conjunct Uranus while it's stationing retrograde, where Saturn is a figure of authority that we're now in conflict with. The father, a boss, someone you look up to, a leader, or maybe now you're questioning those things, or you're coming into new sources of information with Mars recently in Gemini, and it contradicts what an authority figure that you used to look up to has told you, someone you used to respect, that now you're questioning and in a space of conflict with, and maybe over-analyzing, overthinking, getting in a weird headspace, getting yourself a little anxious, getting yourself a little worked up, wanting so much to be correct and virtuous in the eyes of people that you've respected. This could even represent God or spirituality, a figure of authority in that sense too, and wanting to be virtuous, and wanting to get things right, and not being sure how to do that among so much contradictory information. And there's some type of conflict here between what the heart knows is true and what the head is spinning over from a rational, what makes sense on a rational, logical point of view. And you might feel like there's an intense pressure to figure all of that out right now with Mars and Gemini and with this T-square going on here. There could be a lot of pressure to figure it out right now, get it in order right now, because I can't stand it to not be solved and in order, and I just need to fix it. And therefore I'm fixated on it. What is this related to? Well, it might be related to a situation that we've been mulling over related to Chiron here. Okay, so, oops, I wanted a circle. I gave you a line. So what about Chiron here at 15 degrees, which is in conjunction to the South Node in Scorpio? So, as a result of the recent conjunction that we had between I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm getting myself distracted. The recent conjunction that we had between Mars, Uranus, and North Node in Taurus around July 31st and the entire period of the beginning half of August, we were able to identify the problems, make the changes, and drastically change the trajectory of our life. And we were feeling a lot better about that, okay? After the initial shock, because it was hard at first, after the initial shock, we're feeling a lot better about that. We're feeling a lot more liberated and free and in our power. And we were able to step more clearly into the transformation that was being asked of us at this time and do the new things that were a little bit outside the comfort zone and scary for us because we know that it's what is being called for at this time. But with this in conjunction to Chiron and the South Node in Scorpio here, there might be a little second guessing of those things. There might be a little bit of fear and uncertainty and, wanting to feel more in control of that, and a little bit of a regression and fall back into previous patterns. Momentarily regressing because of a sense of uncertainty that arises with whatever surprise circumstances occur around this time, and such an earnest drive to get things right and in order. Fix the details, get the plan in shape, make sure it's aligned with what, is important to us and what we authentically value. Make sure it honors and respects tradition and figures of authority, and make sure that we still have time to enjoy the present moment without getting caught up into it. So there's just a lot going on, and I feel like even the pace that I'm speaking at in this video, which is so fast, kind of directly represents the Mars and Gemini energy, where there's just like, whoa, lots going on, and how to make sense of it all. How to make sense of it all. So what's the answer? All right. Well, the answer, I think, is actually in the dispositor of this moon. And the dispositor of this moon is Mercury. Okay? Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is newly in the sign of Libra at the time of this new moon. 1st degree Libra. Libra is about solutions. It's about balance. It's about fairness. It's about agreements. And it's about considering all perspectives. It's about doing things in a nicer way. So the way that will apply is the following. If you're dealing with a health situation and you're trying to make a plan to get your health back in order and to take charge of things, balance, moderation, not too much at once, do things at a measured pace, and consider multiple perspectives and multiple ways of approaching things. Hear everybody out, right? That's one way. If you're dealing with chaos at work, trying to make a plan, trying to make sense of chaos, get all the details in order. Well, you might have some blind spots because you're moving quickly, or you have been moving quickly. There's a lot on your plate. There's a lot of busyness, a lot of people demanding your time and attention. Well, use partnership. Libra. Have someone spot check you. Have someone spot check your work. Work in a team. Learn to delegate. Share the workload, because 2 heads is better than 1. Mercury and Libra. Talk things out. Get another perspective. If there's something you're unsure about, you need to make a decision. Bounce it off someone that's close to you, a close friend, a marriage partner, a business partner, someone you work with. Question where you think you need to make all the decisions yourself, and question where you think you need to make the decisions urgently right this second. Do you really have to decide right now, or do you just feel like you need to decide right now so that you can get things in order as fast as possible and feel like you have some semblance of control over it? Challenge yourself there and see if you can phone a friend to get another perspective, Mercury and Libra. If you are in some kind of conflict with an authority figure, then lean on the principles of fairness and justice, Mercury and Libra. How can you be fair to yourself and the other person? How can you be level-headed and consider what someone else is having to say? Mercury or Mars and Gemini can cause a lot of conflict in community or disagreements. So Mercury in Libra is giving us an opportunity to find a peaceable solution by making sure that we're being fair and considering and really listening to what other people have to say. Mars in Gemini is a little bit more talk, less listen. And so Mercury in Libra is going to make sure that if we do have a criticism to deliver somebody else, if we do have a problem with the way somebody in charge is doing something, or we do have an issue with something that's going on where we feel authentically that we really need to stand by our principles, that we can deliver the message in a way that is easy to receive. We can advocate for our own needs while making sure that we're fair to the other person, and we can deliver criticisms. Virgo is a lot about criticisms and judgments and corrections that we need to make with other people. We can deliver that information in a way that is optimally received and kind of reduce the level of conflict and inflammation that could occur right now. That's the solution. Mercury in Libra. Overall, I think the intention of this month, this lunar month with the new moon in Virgo, is about making a practical plan and getting things in order. And we're liable to feel some type of pressure that has us moving really quickly, whether that pressure is the demands for our time and attention or just excitement about what we're doing and what we're starting in the creative endeavors we're working on. And we therefore momentarily forget all the lessons we've been learning about slowing down and being self-reliant and taking things at a measured pace. And therefore we might miss some details. Therefore we could maybe speak in a way that is insensitive or out of turn or overly critical, or we could get ourselves in all kinds of nervous tension and be angsting and worrying over things, trying to get in control of everything. And so the step that we could be missing right now is to make sure that we actually question how quickly things need to be done and use other people to our advantage. Be fair, check your perspective, consider all sides, learn and study more information and bounce it off of other people. If you are inundated with things to read and ideas to consider and people to respond to and things to do, then take a moment to step back and lean on people in your network. How can you lean on your partner? How can you talk out your problems with someone else? Because that Mercury in Libra is really the area where you're going to get the clarity and the solutions from, so that this month can go in a way that helps create more balance and solutions for you than problems. Yeah. I think that's what I've got for the new moon and Virgo. If you like this forecast, leave me a comment below. Let me know what intentions you're setting for this month and how this energy is coming up for you. And follow me on Instagram for 12 sign forecasts that I'll be posting shortly. I post those for every new and full moon on my Instagram at 7 Moons Astrology. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next forecast with energy.